today's the first day he's been back, and you know, he's out of shape, but he looks pretty good. He certainly makes a big difference from a physical standpoint. I realized what we missed last year, just seeing him for 30 minutes today. Yeah, we missed it. We missed it. His offensive presence, because you know he would have been by far our best low post. You know, he may get sore, he may get a hit or whatever, but you know he's going to be able to practice full speed from this point forward. He looks as good as anybody we've had in here. You know, at the 4 spot probably physically. You know, he's 6'10" and he's got pretty good ball skills. And, you know, he's a pretty good athlete, and so you know he's got a lot to learn. But certainly, you know, I'm glad we got him. So yeah, they'll take a leadership role. But Mitch may be as much as anybody else, because he's a really good drill guy, and guys can follow his lead. And you know, I would say up until probably October, you know, I think the guys will look to him as one of their key guys to try to watch and follow. Yeah. I don't know. You know, nothing. I don't think it's anything different. But I would say that, you know, we get the 10 practices in July, which can be, you know, they can be long practice, not hard, but they can be long practice. But I'd say the biggest challenge is just getting the guys to understand how we want to play, and to understand that the game's not about them as it is about us, and just get the ball to move, and you know, understand how we want to score and how we want to guard. But you know, we're not going to be any good at that for a while. But hopefully we'll be decent at it by November. Yeah, he's in bad shape, obviously, but he can score. You know, he's got soft hands, and he's a good shooter, and certainly, you know, when he gets in shape, he'll be an effective scorer and rebounder for us. I think he's bouncy. You know, the one thing about him is he's bouncy, and I think he's pretty smart, and you know, he you know, this is one day, but he certainly doesn't have to score a lot of points for us, but he certainly can be a guy that can understand what we need to do offensively, and he'll score off of other people's plays, but he'll certainly be a good ball mover, you know, which will be good. You know, Dwight did some things good, and I think that he did better, but I also think there's some things that Jack does better. So, but I think he can play with Udoka. Yeah. That certainly was a shocker to me. You know, he's the third winningest coach in the first 17 seasons of his career of all time. Wow. Roy, Few, and him. And so, but he's, you know, the last 2 years hadn't gone quite as well. But he's a good coach. So I don't know. I can't speak from their perspective, but I would say from ours it isn't. Yeah. So I thought what he said was positive. Sure. You know, but you know, you don't know how. When you first hear it. Kids can go out of high school, which I think would be great, right. And if they go to college, maybe they have to stay a certain period of time, which I think would be great. But you also don't know how the developmental league plays into everything, and that could be a huge factor on how that is. And I don't know. So and I don't think anybody knows yet, because you know, he just said this, and so the talks are probably in its infant stage, but you know, I don't know. Does that mean all high school kids can go to the developmental league now? Right. And you know, how much are they going to pay them? Right. I mean, there's a lot of things to figure out. Yeah. So, but I think in theory, it sounds great. Sure. I think they're both. You know, Josh is harder to figure out, because I don't know that Josh has worked out for anybody yet. I think he works out this week. But Frank's worked out for a lot of folks, and Frank's done well in his workouts, very well. So, and Josh, I know, he's out in Sacramento, and he's busting it, and says he's ready to roll. So, you know, Frank goes and he competes against guys, and those guys that are projected to go real high, they go and they do individual workouts. So it's a little bit different deal. But I think Josh will, you know, he seems to be in great shape, and when he was here a couple of weeks ago, he looked great. So.